Let's expand further now, and I'm joined by Peter Bechtold in Portland, Oregon. He is the Director of Middle East Studies at Portland State University. Peter, thanks for joining us and welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
You know, with these latest developments, how much longer can we expect to see the masses celebrating on the streets, or do you think we'll see more violence?
We really don't know. I've been following this today. Every 2 hours, the story changed. The key question is, does the second rally that is in Nasr City, near the Muslim Brotherhood headquarters, who have sworn, allegedly, that they will shed their blood to defend the legitimacy of the Morsi election, what will happen if they are confronted by the military trying to clear that square? This is the single most difficult question to answer at this point.
Well, there have also been rumors about members of the Muslim Brotherhood being arrested and the possibility that Mohamed Morsi could also be arrested. If he is, what would the charges be?
Well, I don't know about the latter, but what I have heard is in the last hour that several television stations that belong to the Brotherhood have been shut down, and employees and guests in those stations have been arrested. This is very serious, and it runs contrary to what the joyful crowds were chanting in Tahrir Square. So I think we have to be very careful in trying to project, what is going to happen. If I may elaborate for just a minute, among academic specialists, and I've been a Fulbright professor in Egypt, I've been in and out of the country in 13 different times over almost 4 decades, there's a big debate, is this a coup or is it a revolution? And if it is a revolution, it would run like all other revolutions. There are counter-revolutions, there's strife. If you look at the French, the Russian, the Iranian in recent times, they don't resolve themselves very quickly. On the other hand, if it is a coup, then we need to see how it is going to be handled. And those are two very, very different pathways. And I think it is too early to decide which it is.
Well, one of the people in charge of that transition is Adli Mansour, the interim president. Want your thoughts on him? It seems like he was a Morsi appointee, but he has the military's backing. Is he the right person right now to lead during this transition period?
Well, again, that depends on how you look at the problem in the first place. Adli Mansour is a justice, and that means he's expected to be relatively neutral, but he has no political power base. And so he serves at the pleasure of the military. And if the military is pleased with the proceedings, as they have announced, and they certainly have surrounded themselves with secular politicians, with the leaders of Al-Azhar on the Muslim side, with His Holiness the Pope of Alexandria on the Coptic Christian side, if they proceed, as they claim, to have a transitional government only, leading up to speedy elections, and after the elections, a convening about the new constitution. If they do that in the Turkish style of 1960, where the Turkish military stepped in for 11 months, or possibly the Turkish style in 1997, when an Islamically oriented government in Turkey was removed, that could work. But if it is done in a traditional Egyptian style, which is a top-down political culture with a heavy role of the military going as far back as you like in history, then it'll be quite different.
Well, with the government situation in flux, do you see any other countries dealing with Egypt at this point? The United States or any of its immediate neighbors, or do you think they'll wait for everything to die down and resolve itself before doing any kind of relations with Egypt?
Well, we've already seen that the King of Saudi Arabia has been quoted as recognizing the justice and congratulating him as being the new leader of Egypt. Saudi Arabia is an important country in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, and it is not pleased about the role of Islamic movements which threaten most regimes in the region. And the Islamic wave, which, if I may just add, has been going for almost 4 decades now in every Muslim country, has been a threat to those regimes that have been traditional and authoritarian.
All right,
like the monarchies in one case and the military dictatorships in the other.
Still a very complicated situation. Peter Bechtold, we appreciate your
Indeed.
insight from Portland, Oregon. Thanks for joining us.